Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Barakah HaKodash, which means all praises to Yahweh's name, the Heavenly Father. Bahasham means in the name. Yahweh Shai's the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Barakah HaKodash means in the Holy Spirit, Spirit of truth, on which you worship the Father and the Son. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers who preach in the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. Shabbat Shalom. This is Brother Mathathia from the Great Millstone Camp, the branch out Des Moines. And I'm not sure I'm entitled this lesson just yet, but it's inspired through the Holy Spirit, in light of recent events, what the Lord is doing. Matter of fact, Spirit just gave me this one, man. Second Timothy 3. 2 Timothy 3 and matter of fact, let's start at 1. It's 2 Timothy 3 and 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, and that's what's about to come upon this place, man. Perilous times is written in the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, right? Let's grab that. It's Jeremiah chapter 30 and 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And the he is talking about the elect, as it is written in Romans 11:7. It says, Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Those that are blinded is about to experience this perilous time. Going back to this first verse. Verse 2, it says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, and just, we're going to be in the midst of that too. But the Lord, what did it say? He shall be saved out of it. So the Lord's going to be showing miracles and delivering his elect in miraculous ways, man, for lack of a better word, right? But this verse 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this trait. These traits is running rampant in the world, man. And not only in the world, but we see it happening amongst guys who's supposed to be knowing who they are, man. I'll just call it what it is. Niggas with fringes. This is running rampant among niggas with fringes, man. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers. That's key right there, man. False accusers, man. Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, which they're showing forth themselves to be such, right? Traitors, heady, high-minded, niggas proud as hell, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness. You see that? Having a form of godliness. Yeah, they got the beard. Yeah, they got the fringes. Yeah, they telling you that you are Israelite, right? They telling you to put down a pork. But here it is. Look at these. Look at these traits that's still within these niggas, man. It says having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. See, so the Lord through the mouth of Paul, right, through the Holy Spirit, is telling us to look out for such men as this, man. It says we shall know them by their fruits, right? It's verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, right? You see this all on the common board, man. Verse 7, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. This is the point. Now, as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, those heathen, right? Those Egyptian magicians, how they came against Moses, so do these also resist the truth. So the Lord is comparing rebellious niggas unto those Egyptian magicians, man. And what does it tell us in the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel? Is it 15? Yep. This 1 Samuel 15. And 22, it says, And Samuel said, have Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, man. Keep in mind that word rebellion. Matter of fact, let's get it right now. As you can see, the word rebellion, it says an act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler. Now, the established government is Israel, and who is the ruler? It's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And these guys are showing open resistance to his authority, the action or process of resisting authority. You see the synonyms: uprising, disobedience, right? And let's get it in the Edamon online, because this word rebellion and what it means is gonna come back up later in the lesson. Now we see this word rebellion. It says war raged against a government by some portion of its subjects, right? We see rebellion, revolt, renewal of war. From rebellis, insurgent, rebellis, comes from rebel, which we see means opposite or against, and bellare, which wage war, from bellum, which means war. So it's war, go to war again, man. You see, so those who are rebellious are what? Declaring war against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is back in 1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And that lines up with what? The Lord have rejected you among my people. Well, no, it's Hosea 4:6. I'm thinking of Jeremiah. Mixing precepts. This is Hosea 4:6. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Therefore, they're going to what? They're going to pine away in these plagues and in the pestilence that's to come upon this earth in these times, man. Going back to that Jeremiah 30:7. They're not going to be saved out of it. You know, the Lord is going to leave them here and melt them, man, as it is written in the book of Ezekiel. Right? But I read this, right? Because this what's in my spirit to go into is these rebellious niggas and how they're teaching Israel to be rebellious towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Matter of fact, see, I didn't have this Timothy written down in my lesson. Neither did I have this one right here written down. But this is the book of Jeremiah 28. And 15. Then said the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet. So Jeremiah represents the righteous men. Hananiah represents the false prophets, man. Right? It says, hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua have not sent thee, but thou makest this people to trust in a lie. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth. This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You see that? So that's exactly what these guys are doing, man. And not teaching the proper doctrine of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Anything outside of the proper doctrine, they're teaching rebellion against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. And you don't want to do that against a man of war. Right? But from there, now let's get into the precepts I got written down. Now, starting here in the book of Jeremiah 23. Let's start at verse 14. It says, I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. It says, they commit adultery and walk in lies. And we hear about this going on in these other camps as well, man. You see? Adultery being committed within these other camps, man. We know they walking in lies. Just listen to their breakdowns. They strengthen, this is the point, they strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doeth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah, man. You see? So these guys are strengthening the hands of evildoers, man. They're encouraging the people to continue in their wicked ways. They're teaching rebellion against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man, which is going to bring a judgment upon them. What did the Lord say, man? They talk about famine shall not, no, I think it's Jeremiah. It says, as the prophet, how's it worded? It speaks about, so shall it go. It might be the one in Ezekiel. In my name, it say sword and famine. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. Yep. Matter of fact, I'll read this. It's beautiful. This is Jeremiah 14:14. Then Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination and a thing of naught in the deceit of their heart. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. You see that, man? So therefore, because they strengthen in the hands of evildoers and not telling them their sins, as is written in Isaiah the 58th chapter, guess what? Judgment is going to come upon them, man. Now it's one in Ezekiel. It says, so shall it be to him that seeketh to him. Man, the water Ba'Shem Yahushua clicked right on it. This is Ezekiel 14, and I started 9. It says, if the prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, have deceived that prophet. And that's the scary thing right there, man. Because as it is written, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Lord is having these guys wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Men ordained unto this condemnation, right? I believe Jude wrote that unto us, right? But it says, and if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel, just like Hananiah. See, this is an example of teaching rebellion, man. Rebellion, right? Verse 10, and they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him, man. You see? So the Lord is about to pour out judgment, man. And what are these guys doing? They're strengthening the hands of evildoers, man. They're not causing them to return from their wickedness. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Lord of hosts, concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall, man. That's that Jacob's trouble. That's that hell that they about to go through. We just read it in Ezekiel, the 14th chapter. We just read it in Jeremiah 14. It says, for from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness going forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. It says they make you vain, man. And when you go into this word vain, as you can see, the Hebrew word habal, habal, which says to act emptily, be vain, to become vain, be utterly vain, right? To fill with vain hopes. They telling you that the Lord is with you, he's going to prosper your way. No, the Lord is not with you, man. It says to be vain in act, word, or expectation. So all of the above, right? It speaks about in the book of Esdras, let my grape be kept. Let's grab that, man. It speaks about people who are born in vain. It's Esdras, the second Esdras, the 9th chapter. Second Esdras 9:22. Let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept. That grape represents the elect. And my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. And the Lord is perfecting us. Lord's will, we're of that number. Through what? Through the trials and tribulations, and ultimately through this word, man. right? It speaks about how the Lord is a purifier of silver in the book of Malachi, the 3rd chapter. But the point being is that these false prophets, these false teachers are making the people vain. What do Yahushua say? Let's get this in Matthew. This is Matthew, the 23rd chapter, in the 15th verse. It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, the wicked scribes and Pharisees. That's what these guys represent today. For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, you make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves, man. So these demon prophets, man, they make the guys that follow them twice as demonic as they are. Going into making them vain, you see? Making them empty, what it says about the sons of Belial. This Deuteronomy 13:13. I'm just reading this because these niggas are children of Belial, man. Certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. And that's exactly what these false prophets are telling you. They're telling you to serve your own belly. They're telling you to continue to walk in your own ways. Because once again, going back to that Jeremiah 23, they're not causing the people to turn from their wickedness. They're actually strengthening the hands of evildoers, like we just read. So they're telling you to walk in the emptiness of your own mind, man. But the point being is what? Balal. Now, as you can see here, this is the Hebrew word bala, ya, I, la. So it's bal, ya, yao, bala yao, right? Bala yao. It says worthlessness, worthless, good for nothing, unprofitable, wicked. And it reminds me of this precept here in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. This Wisdom of Solomon 3. In 10, it says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, going back to empty, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable, man. Children of Belial. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. You see? Now let's go back. Back to Jeremiah 23. Let's read 17 now. It says, they say still unto them that despise me. That's what, see? These people actually despise Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And the false prophets are encouraging them to do so. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. You see? This is the mentality of these people, man, which is why they're acting the way they acting, which is why they go on about how they go on, man. But what it says, let's jump down to verse 22. It says, I'll start at 21. Matter of fact, 20. The anger of Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days, ye shall consider it perfectly, man. Exactly. These people gonna know, man. It says, then shall it be known a prophet was amongst them. Then they gonna seek to and fro and gonna try to find the true men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And what's gonna be given them? Jeremiah the 15th chapter. They gonna come seek to the prophets, man. It's gonna say to death, to the captivity, man. Fuck you people, man. Verse 21. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. You see that? So if they were actually speaking the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they would turn the people from their ways, man. But instead, what are they doing? This is the book of Lamentations 2 and 14. Thy prophets have seen vain, once again, that word vain, empty, worthlessness, unprofitable. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thy iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens, false visions, and causes of banishment, man. So these guys are actually, what do Yahweh Shah say? If you don't gather with me, you scatter at the broad. So these guys are pushing the people further and further away from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. And because of that, like we just read, we were speaking about the judgment that's going to come upon Israel because of these false prophets, these false teachers. This Micah 3 and 5. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. What does rebellion mean? Back to war. You see? So it's showing you that these dudes is demons, man. Verse 6. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them, man. These guys are in utter darkness, man. You know? And ultimately, man, the Lord is going to destroy these niggas from off the earth. Verse 7. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the heavenly Father. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and of judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgressions and to Israel his sins. So those that are truly full of the Holy Spirit, that's what they're going to do, man. They're going to reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. They're going to cry aloud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet, and show their people their transgressions, in the house of Jacob their sins, as it is written, man. And it ain't no respect of persons. You don't see that with these other guys, man, because they ain't full of the power. This verse 9. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of house Salakia, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. You see? Because these guys is filled with all unrighteousness, man. Blasphemers, truce breakers, false accusers, just like we read earlier. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity, exactly, because they're not causing the people to turn from their wickedness. They're strengthening the hands of evildoers. Look at what's going on within these camps. Look at how these niggas justify their actions, man, when they're clearly fucking wrong. Verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua among us? None evil can come upon us. Once again, you see the mentality of these niggas, man. But it speaks about how how is that worded? It speaks about how damn, how is it worded, man? Vengeance, I think it said vengeance, like a lion, shall come upon their ass unawares, man. Right when they least expect it. Let's see. I believe it is the Apocrypha. That's a beautiful one. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 8. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by him, man. These guys got, man, the Lord got it out for these niggas, man. That's a good one. Sirach 27:28. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. It's gonna come upon their ass unawares, man. Those was good enough though. Let's continue for sake of time. Back in Micah 3 and 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, in the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest, man. So this judgment that's going to come upon Israel, man, it's because of these false teachers. It's because of these false prophets, man. You know? And that's why the Lord warns us. That's why in the book of Malachi, it tells us that we shall return and discern between who serveth the Lord and who don't. You see, you got these people who are heaping unto them themselves itching ears. See, they pick their teacher according to their lust, according to their own desires, man. No, you're supposed to conform unto the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, not omit and twist certain precepts to fit your own fucking agenda, man. You see? And the Lord warned, and once again, the Lord warned us about guys like that. This is the book of Luke 11. Luke 11. Sound like I said Luca. This is the book of Luke, chapter 11, In verse 44, 1144, call Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them, man. So these people in these other congregations, man, they're not aware that they're being led to the slaughter. They're not aware that they ask for them to be destroyed, man. They're not aware that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is not amongst them. Because what's significant about Yahweh Shah saying they are as graves that appear not, and men walk over them, man. Let's get the book of Numbers. Let's go back to the law. Let's get the book of Numbers, chapter 19 and 16. It says, and whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days, man. So you just touching a grave makes you unclean. So going back into this Luke 11 and 44, these niggas are as graves that don't appear that men walk over them. So you're touching this grave and you're becoming unclean. So really what Yahweh Shah saying is these guys make you unclean. You see? Therefore, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua can't be amongst you people, man. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. So the Lord can't receive those people because of what? The false teachings of the false prophets, man. That's why Peter wrote unto us and said, what? We have a more sure word of prophecy, that you do well to take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star rise in our hearts, man. Now are you cleansed through the word that I speak unto you? It's the proper doctrine. And the Lord will receive us. Verse 18, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty. Being obedient unto the spirit and will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, not rebelling anymore. Because at one point we were going in the opposite way. But these guys, man, they have a form of godliness. See, on the outward, they look like they're going in the proper way, but really, man, these guys is going in the way of hell, man. Meaning in the way of destruction. It ain't no fucking place that you're going to burn forever. They're going into the way of destruction, man. They're going into the way of death, a horrible death at that. It says the same must know it after death by pain. You see? And Paul is quoting a prophecy in the book of Isaiah. This Isaiah 52 and 11. It says, depart ye, depart. What it means, depart. Micah 2 and 10, arise and depart, because this is not our rest. How do we arise and depart? By the renewal of our mind. It's through the proper doctrine. It says that the engrafted word, which is able to save our souls, man. These guys, they ain't got that. Once again, they not speaking the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because if they were, they would cause the people to turn from their wicked ways. But instead, they're strengthening the hands of evildoers, man. It says, depart ye, depart, go ye out from thence, touch no unclean thing, go ye out of the midst of her, be ye clean, that bear the vessels of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. And we are those vessels. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians 4 and 4. I started 3. It says, for this is the will of the Most High, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication, man. And that's all fornication, whether it be physical or spiritual. Verse 4, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, man. You see, in that word sanctification, consecration, purification, man. Sanctification of heart and life. Ooh, that's heavy. Goes into purity, a purified, being purified through the word, right? Through Yahweh Shah, because he is our sanctification. And these guys, once again, these guys are not teaching, they're not preaching Yahweh Shah. It says, mark them that cause divisions contrary to the doctrine which you have heard, and avoid them, because they that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shah, but their own belly. Going back to that Deuteronomy, the sons of Belial. And with good words and fair speeches, deceive the hearts of the simple, man. This 1 Corinthians 1 and 30. But of him are ye in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who of the Most High is made unto us. So the Heavenly Father made Yahweh Shai unto us what? Wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, man. So Yahushua is our righteousness. Yahushua is our wisdom. He is our redemption. That's how we're redeemed back to the Father. And he is our sanctification, meaning we're purified, we're sanctified, we're separated through him. And once again, these guys, the majority of these camps, what do they say? Christ. That's polluting you more and more. What do they tell you? You can pop your woman on the Lord's holy day. Today is the Sabbath, man. Just imagine how many of these niggas with fringes on is treating this day, you know, like a regular day, man. Not telling you what the MOTB is. Great judgment is coming upon these false prophets, man, and those that follow them, man. You know, so I'm going to end it there, Lord will. I hope this was edifying. The Wadi Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. I'm going to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Baruch HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity, who's rightly dividing the word of truth directly and correctly. Peace, blessings, salutations to you brothers, man, you few sisters that may be watching as well. Shabbat Shalom.